Day off. If you are headed on the shift this morning, or if you're just coming off this shift, you worked all night long, this might just be exactly what you need this morning, guys. I'm Brett. I am a retired North Carolina State Trooper, and I am here weekdays at 7 a.m. and I just read a chapter out of the Bible, man. And we talk about it. If you want to join in, I'd love to have you. Please stay. Read along with me if you will. We're going to be doing the book of Philippians today. And feel free to join along with me. All right, let's get with it. Verse 1, Philippians 1:1. Philippians 1:1. All right, it says, Paul and Timothy, slaves in Jesus Christ, to all the saints in Christ Jesus who are in Philippi, including the overseers and deacons, grace to you and peace from God, our Father, and the Lord Jesus Christ. So right there from the very beginning, you see what Paul's doing. Paul is, he's identifying himself. Just start off with, he is identifying himself. All right. And, that's what we always do, man. Before you get out there, but remember, he's identifying himself and other people in there. You identify yourself as a first responder. You got a badge on, you got a name tag, you got a badge, but there's one thing to remember. Before you were an officer, before you were an EMT, before you were a firefighter, you were a servant of God, a servant of Christ first. Okay. What we do for a living, all right, it's just a job, guys. It's not who you are. It is not your identity. You are, this is just a job. It's not who you are. Yeah, we tend to over-identify ourselves with our job. We become, it's everything. That's who we hang out with. That's what we talk about. That everything is about our job. And guys, that is not the way it is supposed to be. Our core identity is as a servant of Christ. We're supposed to be with him, about him. What if you talked about the Lord as much as you talked about your job? How would it go then? How would your life change if you read the Bible and knew as much about it as you did your job? It might change your whole life, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate those likes. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you so much, Harrison. Appreciate that. All right. Your badge on this earth is just your assignment. Okay? That's it. Christ is your identity. Remember that, guys. We've got to keep that stuff in mind, man. We've got to keep it, you got to keep the main thing. You got to understand how things really work. Thank you for those likes. I appreciate that so much. Remember, your badge is just your assignment. It's a temporary thing for you to do. If the average lifespan is 75 years, well, the average career is only 30, man, we're talking eternity, and you're talking 30 years versus eternity. Those 30 years do not make or break you, man. They provide you means. They may give you a little bit of purpose. They may, but it's not who you are. What you do with the other 45 years, if you only live an average 75-year life, what you do with the other 45 years of your life will mean a whole lot more. All right, let's keep going. Verse 3, it says, now he's going to start giving thanks and praying. All right. I give thanks to my God for every remembrance of you. All right. I always praying with joy for all of you in my prayer because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. I am sure of this, that he who started a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. All right. Now think about that. He's telling, first of all, just a little bit of background. He's writing this letter to the church, to the Christians in Philippi. They had sent him a gift. He was in prison. Paul's in prison writing this. So right now, Paul's in prison, and here he is talking, he's sending encouragement to somebody else. He's sending encouragement, even in his time of trouble, his times, hard times. Here he is encouraging somebody else, and he's saying, thank you for the gift that you gave me. All right. Now, and now he said, God started a good work in you. He said, and I know he's going to finish it. Do you think he's trying to tell them, hey, finish strong, guys? How about you? How about in our first responder careers? How about in your job? Did you start off strong? Were you wide open? Were you wide open when you went to the academy, when you went to BLET, if you were in North Carolina? Did you start off strong? And now you kind of burned out a little bit? Thank you for those likes. Thank you so much. You started strong, and now you're starting to get tired. Like I said, when you went out there, you were full of vinegar and it just, I'm ready to change the world. I'm ready to do it. And now you're like, I don't even know if I want to go to work today. I just don't even know if I want to go to work today. Is that you? If it is, man, remember, Jesus. Paul is telling the folks in Philippi right there, hey, God's not done with you. He's not done with you. He started to work in you. He's going to finish it in you as well. All right. Thank you for those likes. Thank you so much. All right. God's not done with you. You may be tired. It may be getting a little, just wore out a little bit, but the fire that was inside of you in the beginning is still there. Christ is still there. He started this work in you, and he's going to see it through till he calls you home, one way or the other. All right? Remember that, guys. As you go through your day, remember that. Christ is going to finish that work that he started in you. All right? Guys, if you're just getting here, if you're just joining us, I'm a retired state trooper, and at 7 a.m. every morning, every weekday, I come in here and I just read a chapter of the Bible, guys. That's it. All right? Verse 7, it says, it is right for me to think this way all about you because I have you in my heart, and you are all partners with me in grace, both in my imprisonment and in the defense and establishment of the gospel. He's telling you guys, I've known you from the beginning. You've been with me. And it's because you've been with me, I've been remembering you, and I've been praying for you. Who's been praying for you that you don't even know about? Who's been praying for you? Who do you think? Now turn around and think about it the other way. Who have you been praying for? Guys, in our line of work, it's tough. It's easy to get burned out. It's easy, man. We get toxic workplaces and toxic work co-workers. Have you prayed for them? Have you silent from them? You know who they are. Have you gone into your prayer chamber? Have you said, Lord, help this man, help this woman, be with them, let them come to know you, ease their pain, because sometimes that's all it is, guys, is they're dealing with some stuff that you don't know about. Pray for them. Because I promise you, there's somebody somewhere praying for you and you don't even know about it. Praying for you, man. You as first responders have people who are praying for you that you have no clue about, man. When I started this thing on TikTok, I had my Hey Officer page. All I do is a devotional a couple times a week. I have been amazed. I have got people from all over the country that have reached out to me, man, and it has been amazing. I never ever would have thought that would happen, but it has. So you've got people praying for you that you don't even realize. But hey, be the one who's doing that for somebody else? Who are you praying for? Who are you trying to take care of? Who are you mentoring? Because that's what he's doing. Paul is in prison, but he's talking about somebody else. He is literally praying for somebody else while he's in prison. All right, verse 8, it says, "For God is my witness, how deeply I miss all of you with the affection of Christ Jesus. And I pray this, that your love will keep on growing in knowledge and every kind of discernment." All right, so that's what he's telling. He said, I hope that you keep studying the word, whether I'm there or not. You need to learn. You need to continue in what God's got you to do. You need to learn and continue to grow in this. All right. Then it says, let's see, verse 10, "So that you can approve the things that are superior and can be pure and blameless in the day of Christ, filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ, to the glory and praise of God." He's telling you got to remain like this. You've got to learn. You've got to grow, so that even when I'm not here, you can continue this mission, guys. Because what we do in this life, our service, okay, guys, never mind the black eye. I'm sorry. I was training last night. Guy got me with a stray elbow or something. I don't know. So it happens. But you've got to learn. And our mission in life is to live for Christ and to show people Christ no matter what the situation. All right. So, and that's what he's saying. And now he's talking about, he goes into verse 12, he's going to specifically talk about advancing the gospel. He says, in verse 12, now I want you to know, brothers, that what happened to me has actually resulted in the advancement of the gospel. Think about that right there, guys. Thank you so much for that repost. Thank you, Kayla. Think about that. Verse 12. Now, again, let me remind you, Paul is in prison. Paul is writing this letter to the people of Philippi, the Christians in Philippi. And he's telling them, guys, what's happening to me has actually made the gospel grow. This is a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm in prison. Man, think about that. Can you say that? He's saying that his prison stay has advanced the gospel. What about us, man? What about us as first responders? We get criticized by people who have no clue, don't we? We got politics. They come into play. Ask me how I know. All right. We get on bad calls. We got to worry about what's going to happen to us in court, because if we make a mistake, we're the ones on the stand that they're going to try to make, some lying lawyer out there is going to try to make us look bad if we make a mistake, But what if this, guys? Think about it like this. What if all that pressure from your job, all right, all that pressure, if it's not punishment, it's actually a platform. Think about that now. It is a place for you to represent Christ, so that when the pressure's on, other people see you and you are calm. When the pressure's on and you could flip out and cuss everybody out, but you don't do that. You reflect Christ in everything that you do, even in those hard times, how you handle those situations. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all so much for joining. You do that, and man, you handle things, how you love other people, how you treat other people, the good and the bad, not just your coworkers. And sometimes, we got them. I know. All right. Not just your coworkers, but the suspects, the victims. Guys, how are you treating them? What are we doing? Now, again, don't mistake what I'm saying, guys. If he bought the ticket, let him ride the ride. That's okay. All right. But what about after that? What about after that? Not in the heat of the battle. On the long ride to the jail. On the long ride to the hospital. What about that time? How are you treating them now? All right. What are we saying? What are we doing? Are we showing the love of Christ? Are we reflecting on that? You know, not our pressure is not punishment, but a platform. All right, guys. If you think this helps you guys, I'd appreciate it if you would, give me a follow. Drop a comment, man. Give me some comments, afterwards, and give me a follow if you don't mind. I'm here every weekday at 7 a.m. So, I'll be here again tomorrow at 7 if you join me again. All right. All right, let's go. Verse 13. It says, so that I'm gonna tell you what, I got papers everywhere trying to fall out, so that it has become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to everyone else that my imprisonment is the cause of Christ. Most of the brothers in the Lord have gained confidence from my imprisonment and dare even more to speak the message fearlessly. He's given examples there. I told you, he wrote in the letter that his imprisonment was increasing the gospel. And there he's telling you how. He said, man, I've been preaching to the prison guards. I've been preaching to the guards. Now, you got to remember, in that culture, that right there, he was, thank you for those likes. I appreciate that so much. He is talking about, first of all, he's a Jew, but he's in a Roman prison. And, they don't necessarily always get along, okay? And like I said, he's in prison for nothing more than preaching the gospel. And so, but he's taking the time. Now he's like, hey, those prison guards that are keeping me chained up, that are keeping me here and keeping me here wrongly, they know I'm here for Jesus. He said, and now because the other believers that are here where I'm at, they see me in jail, and now they become bold. They're saying, man, if he can do it, I can do it. Not that they don't want to be in jail, and nobody wants that part, but what they're saying is he can stay strong in his challenge, in his hard time. And man, if he can do it, I can too. They're gaining strength through his trials. That's us, guys. That's us. Who are you being strong for? Who are you setting that example for today in your life, where you go to work, when you go to Walmart, wherever it is you go? Who are you setting that example for, man? Because I promise you, somebody's watching. I was teaching Sunday school last week, and I was just talking about it. And one of the biggest examples that you're ever going to set in your whole life is to your children, because they're going to see you go to church. Yeah, okay, you do all that on Sunday morning, but they're going to see how you are on Saturday night. They're going to see you on Friday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night. They're going to see you every night. Is the person on Tuesday night the same person as Sunday morning? Because if it's not, that's hypocrisy, man. Now, the world might not see that because you're going to be in the confines of your home. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Joshua. That's the truth, man. It is the truth. It is a fact. But your child will see it. Your child will know. So if you want to set them up for a lifetime of disappointment, and they were in confusion because, man, wait a minute. My daddy was a deacon. He drank like a dang fish on Tuesday night, though. But he celebrated on Sunday morning because the other folks don't know about it. You've kept that hidden from them. Hey, that's hypocrisy. And you are setting them, your kids will see. If nobody else sees it, the ones in your house will absolutely see it. And so, are you furthering the kingdom then? Absolutely not. You're setting them up, man. You're giving them a bad taste in their mouth. Or you're setting them up for where they think false things. Well, I can do that. That's completely okay. No, it's not okay. It is absolutely not okay. Right? The man or the woman that you are on Sunday morning needs to be the same man and woman you are everywhere you go. And every day. Man, we get mad. I understand that. We have emotions. Everybody does. But we have to control our emotions and not our emotions control us. Right? Every day we have to remain in control. All right. And Paul talks about that in the Bible and other places, controlling our flesh, controlling our tongue, controlling our flesh, beating it into submission, guys. That is what we have to, and it's hard. It makes life hard. I know that. All right. But the payoff is awesome, man. We get to walk in heaven with Jesus Christ, man. You know, our reward is Christ. Our reward, and we can have earthly rewards too, and nothing wrong with that. Man, we love that. We want that too, you know. But think about this. Think about the possibility. Think about if you are, you know, in our line of work, first responder stuff, guys. If we're here, like if you're an FTO, and I don't know what. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I don't know what the firefighters call it, or I don't know what the EMTs. But if you are a mentor in your career path, does it make you feel good? Hey, if 3 or 4 years down the road, you got that guy that was a struggling or a girl that was a struggling rookie, but now, no, they're solid, man. They are solid in their job. You can turn them loose and you don't have to worry about that. And you can think to yourself, I had something to do with that. I had something to do with that. I mentored them in a way. I showed them something. I did. You know, hey, well, now what about that? What if in your spiritual walk, you could do the same thing? Hey, man, that guy right there, he's turned into a strong Christian. Look at him. Man, he's a deacon in the church. He's teaching Sunday school. He's doing whatever it is he's supposed to do. He's being an example at work. Everywhere he goes, man, he's showing love. And you can think, hey, I had something to do with that. I taught them a little bit. I was an example for that person. Can we not take a little bit of, say, yeah, I did that. That's okay. For the kingdom of Christ, that's okay right there. You know, all right. Guys, you know, if you're just joining us, I'm a retired state trooper. And I come on here at 7 a.m. every weekday, and I just read a chapter of the Bible, guys. If you don't mind, if you give me a like, if you give me a follow, I'd greatly appreciate it, guys. All right. Where are we at? We're in, let's see, verse 14. Most of the brothers, we're in verse 15. To be sure, some preach Christ out of envy and strife, but others out of goodwill. Telling you right there, some people trying to preach for the wrong reasons. Envy and strife. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you had to envy about Paul. Back in the day, I don't know what they were envious of, because every time you turn around, he was getting shipwrecked, beaten, thrown in prison. I don't know why envy would be a word that he would use right there, because his life, I don't get it, man. All right. But I do see it in today's world, because we have some folks are blessed, and they see a way to get an earthly blessing. They want to make some money. They think, hey, they only work. I pick at my pastor, say he'd only work once a week. He was pretty quick on the draw the other day. I said, man, you only work once a week. He looked right at me and said, yep. And y'all get mad if I preach overtime too. I was like, heck no, that was pretty good though. It was a quick comeback, you know? And all right, verse 16 says, those do so out of love. These do so out of love, knowing that I am appointed for the defense of the gospel. The others proclaim Christ out of rivalry, not sincerely, seeking to cause me anxiety of my imprisonment. So they're preaching, they're trying to use the fact that he was in jail against him. Anybody ever tried to use something you did, you know, against you? They do it in this world, man. Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, they'll try to take your mistakes. Thank you for those likes. I thank you so much. They'll try to take your mistakes, even if they're small ones. They'll try to blow them up, use against you, man. Trust me. I've lived that life. I know. It's hard, man. It's hard. We're out there trying to do the right thing, and somebody wants to say, see? When he got mad, when that guy, think about law enforcement. It just came to my mind when we were doing that right there. When you're out there patrolling and you got that person all in your face and they come out there, and then when they touch you, you know what you do. You snatch them up. And they're absolutely rightly so. But that's when the camera comes on and the video clip comes on. They don't show the 30 minutes of antagonizing, you know, and all that stuff. But they just get that clip on you. That's what they do to us, isn't it, guys? Absolutely it is. Okay. But Paul said, hey, I know that. I got to deal with that. I'm showing the love of Christ anyway, guys. They can preach against me. They can do that anyway. I'm here for Christ. He understands that we're here for a bigger purpose. And, bad times are going to come. They're going to go. It's going to happen, man. He's telling us that right there. All right. What does it matter? There it is, verse 18. What does it matter? What does it matter? If they're trying to do me wrong, what does it matter? All right. Just that in every way, whether out of the false motives or true, Christ is proclaimed. In this I will rejoice. Yes, and I will rejoice. All right. He's telling, they might be doing it for the wrong reasons. He said, but as long as they're talking about Jesus, I'm all right with it. If they're using me as their example, but they're talking about Jesus, he said, I'm not worried about it. That's okay. What he's doing is he's focusing on the real deal, on what's really important, guys. He's focusing on Jesus. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to go through life. Thank you so much for that. All right, we've got to go through our life, go through our shift, knowing that there's going to be people that don't like us. There's going to be people that actually hate us just because of what we do. There's going to be people who are going to plot against us. And, that could be your suspect, your victim. But it could be your dang coworker, man. It could absolutely be your coworker. They could be jealous of you because you got a promotion, because you got an attaboy, because you got something. Well, if you earned it, what? And if they are, and so they go to the break room and they talk a little bit of trash behind your back. Guess what? If they're talking about Jesus, he thinks he's better than me. He thinks he's holier than thou. If they're talking about Jesus, hey, at least they're talking about Jesus. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't matter. That's what he's saying right there. He's saying it does not matter. All right. But, all right. Yes, I will rejoice because I know this will lead to my deliverance. All right. Through your prayers and help from the Spirit of Jesus Christ. My eager expectation and hope is that I will not be ashamed about anything, but that now, as always, with all boldness, Christ will be highly honored in my body, whether by life or by my death. He's telling you guys, no matter what, I want Christ to be honored, even if it kills me, guys. That's what he's wanting right there. All right. Verse 21, now he's getting to the nitty gritty. He's talking about living for Christ. All right. Verse 21, for me, living is Christ and dying is gain. Guys, right there, we work in a profession where, death is real. Okay. Unfortunately, I've had a classmate that was killed in the line of duty. I've had a shift partner who was killed in the line of duty. I mean, it is my brother's roommate in patrol school was killed in the line of duty. Guys, that's a real threat with us. All right. So what are we going to do? It's real. So what is Christ to you though? What is Christ to you? If something were to happen to you, have you left a legacy? Not a financial legacy. I mean, certainly take care of your family, do all that. That's important. But what about a gospel legacy? Have you left that? Does everybody know where you stand? Or they're going to go, I don't know. Are we going to have trouble finding somebody to preach a funeral, man? Because you're like, But no, we know he's a member there, and they know, man. And you've left a legacy. All right. And no matter what, you were proclaiming Christ in there, right? All right. Let's see. Verse 22, that's where we're at. We're almost done for today, guys. Verse 22. Now, if I live on the flesh, this means the fruitful work for me, and I don't know which one I should choose. I am pressured by both. I have the desire to depart and be with Christ, which is far better, but to remain in the flesh is more necessary for you. He's saying, man, I love the Lord so much, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready. to die. I'm done with this place, man. He said, but I know I kind of need to be here for you. You know, my grandma, my Mima, about, let's see, I retired almost, it's not been quite 4 years ago from the patrol. And I asked her, I said, hey, look, Mima, I said, in about 6 months, or, you know, I said, I'm getting ready to retire. And I want you to be at my retirement dinner now. I want you to dance. I was joking with her. I said, I want you to dance. She was in her 90s. And I'll never forget it, man. She looked right at me. She said, son, I'm tired. I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it that long. Now, she was living by herself, you know, and doing all that, but she was tired, you know. And I kind of feel, even though she's much more advanced in age than Paul is, Paul's just like, you know, if like I said, if you go back and study him, he's been shipwrecked. He's been beaten. He's been boiled alive. They have placed him in tar, man. And here he is in prison for no reason. Yeah, I'd probably get tired of living too if I'd live that life. But he saw that he had a mission and something that was more important than just his single life. And he said, nope, I am ready to die. I am ready for this to end. He said, but I know I got to be here for Jesus. I got to be here to be strong for you, set an example for you, to help you guys. Who have you got to be here for? Who are you setting the example for? And are you setting the right one? Is it your kids? Is it your wife? Is it your husband? Is it your coworker? Is it your mom and dad? Man, you may be in a place farther along. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Let me make sure I got that right. Let's see. Dirt Disciples for Christ. All right, former Virginia trooper. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for loving Jesus. Appreciate you for being here, guys. All right. And it says in verse 25, since I am persuaded of this, I know that I will remain and continue with all of you in all of your progress and your joy in the faith, so that because of me, your confidence may grow in Christ Jesus when I come to you again. He realizes that he is an example. Okay, he's realizing that. Guys, you've got to know, you cannot go through this life and think that you're just living for you. You're not. Now, the most important thing you can do is understand that I want you to understand you need God in your life. You need Jesus Christ, man. That is the most important thing. But even if you don't do that, you understand, guys, you are more important than you realize. I told a young man yesterday, it was his birthday. I said, son, more people care about you than you know. I don't think he believed me. You know, and you know, he battles with some things and whatnot, but you know, I said, son, more people love you than you even know. And that's true about you also, guys. There are more people who are concerned about you, who need you in their life than you even realize. You think you're going through this all by yourself and you're struggling. Okay, that's a lie from the devil. I'm not saying that your struggle is not real. Please don't take it like that. I'm not saying that. But there are people who are dependent on you. There are people who need you in their life, man. They may not even realize it right now, but you're setting an example. You're throwing a kind word out there every now and then, man. You're important to somebody, man. I promise you that. Stay here on this earth. Be here. Be a part of somebody's life, man. Be that example for somebody. All right. All right. Verse 27, it says just one thing. Live your life in a manner that is worthy of the gospel of Christ. Then, whether I come and I see you or if I'm absent, I'll hear about you, that you are standing firm in one spirit and with one mind, working side by side for the faith that comes from the gospel. Guys, man, that right there, that's integrity. That's integrity. He's saying, hey, you guys, keep on working, man. Live a life. Be an example that is worthy of the gospel of Jesus Christ, man. Again, live it out loud. Don't just hide it under a bushel basket. All right? No, you've got to be out there. You've got to live your life, and people have got to see that example. And then the second part, which is, I think is, first of all, you can't do one without the other. Thank you for those likes. Thank you so much. All right. But he says that even if I don't see you again and I don't see the good things that you're doing, how you've lived your life, he said, I'll hear about it. Now, what is that? That's your reputation. Paul's talking about your reputation right there. You know, I look back on my career, I thoroughly enjoyed being a trooper, guys. I really, really did. I loved it. And I don't know that I was necessarily the best trooper that we had, but I can tell you what I did do. I enjoyed catching a drunk and getting them off the highway. Whether they prosecuted him in the courthouse, I didn't care. I did my job that night. Never looked back on that. But when I went to that courthouse, they knew if I said it, that's what happened. I had a reputation that even if it's bad for the case, Brett's going to tell them the truth, man. He's going to tell it. He's not going to leave something out because it's bad. No, you're going to get the facts. And if Trooper Baxley says that you were out of the way, then you were out of the way. And if he says you were drunk, buddy, you were drunk, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that I might not have known policy the best of every trooper, man. I might not have been. I know I wasn't the biggest ticket writer. I wasn't. All right. But man, like I said, my reputation was if Brett said he was in this location at this time, he was there. And if you ask him, did you go there? He's gonna tell you, no, I ain't go. My biggest thing was, and I hate to admit this kind of stuff on here, but man, my biggest thing, I would stay out late from my shift because my wife and kids were asleep, and what's the use of me going home at 1 o'clock? Whatever. But I didn't always leave home on time. If I was scheduled to go to work at 3, I would check on at 3, but I probably didn't leave at 3 because my wife and kids didn't get home till 3:30, and I wanted to see them before I went to work. And so unless I got a call, I didn't leave my house. So I was bad about, I might not leave the house, but I promise you I made it up on the back end. Because if I was working a 3 to 12, I didn't get home till about 1:30, more than likely. And then I would put it on my time sheet. It all balanced out in there. And I'm not justifying what I was doing. I'm just saying, none of it was perfect. But hey, the point of all that was, if they asked me, did you leave the house at 3? No, I didn't. I'd tell them the truth. No, sir, I did not. Let the chips fall where they may. They'll take my honest answer and do with it what they will. If I got my hand slapped, say, okay, yes, sir. I'll do better. Yes, sir. But I'm not, they might fire me, but it won't be for lying. That's how I always looked at it. Because the running joke was on the patrol was, hey, they'll fire you for lying. Well, they won't fire you for being at home. They'll fire you for lying. So, I don't even know where I was going with all that, guys. That's just kind of crazy. But, but have integrity, have a reputation. That's where I was at. I was at my reputation at the courthouse. My reputation at work was, he's going to tell you the truth. And that's what Paul's talking about. He's saying to live a life that's worthy of the glory of God. And even if I don't come to see you again, if I don't see you living that life in person, I can tell you I'll hear about it. I'll know about it because your reputation will precede you. Guys, that's the kind of life we need to live right there. Our reputation needs to precede us. All right. Let's see. Verse 28, not being frightened in any way by your opponents. Guys, we're not supposed to be scared. This is a sign of the destruction of them. I appreciate it, but not right now. Thank you, though. All right. Not being frightened in any way by your opponents. This is a sign of destruction for them, but of your deliverance. And this is from God. It's telling you, by not having fear of your opponents, we know that the devil is a liar. We know that he is against us, and he uses people on this earth that hate us, that come against us and everything that we do, that does it at work. All right. When you show up on the scene and that person, look, man, you ever had one? Say, I ain't going to jail tonight. I'm not going with you. You ain't even said, hey, yeah, you ain't said nothing. I had a girl one time. She was in a wreck. She was in a ditch. When I got there were like 4 or 5 teenagers. They had rolled up on it. And I noticed they were standing off from it. And I thought it was kind of odd. I said, hey, guys, everything all right? Said, yes, sir. She's in the car. I was like, okay. All I did, the ditch was deep, and it was, the whole car was in the ditch. So I put my hand on top of the car, and I leaned down and the window was down. I said, hey, man, who do you want to tow your car? That's literally what I said. And both she started cussing me, swam out. That's literally all I said. So it went downhill from there. That same lady, that right there was one of those times I knew demons were real. I got her out of the car. This progressed, and no incidents took place. I let her spout off, whatever. I sat her in my car as I'm going out and I'm getting my distances. I'm doing my diagram and whatnot. All right. I got K-Love playing in my car. I sit back down in the car, sitting there, and she looks at me with as evil a look as I've ever seen and says, how can you even listen to this? And I was taken aback. I was like, K-Love? They singing about Jesus? But I mean, it was an interesting night. Long ride to the jail from all the way down at Taper City at the state line. It was a long ride. But I knew right then. See, but you got to recall, I'm not fighting against her. That's that evil spirit that was inside of her. All right? You got to remember who we fight against spirits, man, and principalities, not against the person, All right, verse 29 says, for it has been given to you on Christ's behalf, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him, having the same struggle that you saw I had, and now that you hear that I have. Guys, we're going to have hard times. We're going to suffer. We're going to be blamed for things we didn't do. They're going to try to hold us accountable, but not themselves. You're going to have some hard times. If you proclaim Christ, if you live for Christ, you're going to have some hard times, guys. It's coming. If it's not happening now, you better get ready because it's going to come. All right. But he's telling us, be prepared for it. He's telling you, but that's going to happen. He's telling you, the Apostle Paul is telling us, get ready, guys. It's coming. Be ready, because people are always going to take a stand against Christ. Evil is always wanting it because they don't want you to show the love. They want you to lose your temper. That's what they want. So when they're doing all that stuff, that crap you see out there in Minnesota and other places like that, they're trying to get you to lose your cool, man. They want you to lose your cool. Then they want you to lose your religion. So they can video it and show the world. And you will be judged from that moment on that 30-second clip. That's what they want. So anytime then when you try to proclaim Jesus, they're going to be like, don't I know you? Weren't you on the internet? That guys, that's what they want. And what they'll do, they want to use that against you. Then they'll try to shame you with that. See, you can't talk about Jesus. You couldn't even control your tongue. Look at you. That's what they want, and that's why we have to be in complete control all the time, guys. And I know that's a hard thing. It's a work. It is a job. We will have to practice it, every day. All right, guys. Well, that's all of chapter 1 in Philippians right there. Guys, if it's just us out here, and this is the Thin Blue Fake page here, guys, and we're here every weekday at 7 a.m. If this helps you before you go on your shift, man, it gives you something to think about. So I hope you would read along with me. If this is good for you, if it helps your soul, if it can help you get through your shift, guys, can you give me a follow and a like? And come back tomorrow. Join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. We're going to do chapter 2. All right. I love you. God's got you 6, and let's get to work. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys. All right. See you tomorrow, guys.